I am not surprised that Doc Rivers and James Harden failed last night because when it comes to the playoffs, they are failures. And that's been their resumes apart for a long time. And now together in Philly, combined with the bad news of Joel Embiid out, this combo feels dead on arrival. And really, it shouldn't have to be the case. But Harden was terrible, and he was just not the dynamic all-time weapon that we saw in Houston. He was more like the roly-poly, disinterested mess we saw with the Brooklyn Nets. You know, in theory, James Harden should score. The role players should step up, and Doc Rivers should make adjustments, but that never happens for the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid is being replaced in the lineup by DeAndre Jordan, who should have retired 3 years ago. Doc Rivers handpicked DeAndre Jordan. Remember, they were together with the Clippers. And Doc played, at the end of the day, Joel Embiid way too long as a first guess late in Game 6 against Toronto. So Doc Rivers, in every possible way, responsible for this debacle. And honestly, you have to bring your A game in order to beat the Heat. Tyler Hero scored 25 off the bench. In fact, he outscored the Sixers bench by himself, 25-21. Bam was superb. Eric Spoelstra and the Heat culture and defense, too much for a team that folds in the face of adversity without Joel Embiid. And look, you never want to say a series is over after one game, but when you are asking Harden and Rivers to achieve and overachieve in the playoffs, the thought of Philly winning anything with Joel Embiid not being there is simply laughable. A.J. Brown's presence in Philly was enough to do a couple of things. One, remind the Philly fans that it's always Eagles season, and you can dry your eyes from crying after watching the aforementioned 76ers debacle. And the Philadelphia Eagles have a great opportunity to win the NFC East and leapfrog the Dallas Cowboys. A.J. Brown changes the game for Philly. He changes it for the team. He changes it for Jalen Hurts. And this is what happens when you pick up a superstar receiver to team with Devontae Smith. It's go time. And listen, I think Jalen Hurts in year 3 will go to another level. He better, or else someone else is going to be under center in 2023. The Philadelphia Eagles offense should be spicy. Look at the weapons, and remember, this is behind a great offensive line. Hurts has the arm, has the savvy, has the knack, has the athleticism. He needs to be more consistent, simply put, as a thrower. I really think at the end of the day, he can be. We saw it in college at Bama. We saw it at Oklahoma. The Eagles had a sensational draft, and they're ready to be a first-place team. I'm still buzzing about Jordan Davis, and, you know, at the end of the day, you look at the Cowboys, just a blah off season. Probably a little worse than that if you factor in losing a starting wide receiver and a starting offensive lineman. It's all there for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's all about Jalen Hurts becoming the answer and the face of the franchise. Ryan Tannehill met the media today, and it was an uninspiring disaster. Almost like, you know, watching him play the quarterback position. I'm not even sure where to start. Think about it. He didn't show up at the beginning of the offseason, and he revealed the reason why today. He was finishing a home renovation project. Home renovation. The only home he should have been working on was the stadium in Nashville that he failed to protect when he threw 3 picks against the Cincinnati Bengals in an inexplicable divisional round loss when Tennessee was the 1 seed and had home field advantage in the entire postseason of the AFC. Tannehill lamented not getting the heads up from the team about picking Malik Willis. He also added, he's not there to be a mentor. Oh, and by the way, for good measure, said he was shocked that the team traded A.J. Brown, throwing GM John Robinson right under the old bus. And this is why you just can't trust Ryan Tannehill when it comes to handling the 5th quarter of being a quarterback. And you can't trust him on the field for the 4th quarter of actually playing quarterback, because the numbers on the screen tell you that he's never going to be anything more than a bottom half of the league starter and he was responsible for holding the Tennessee Titans back last year. And this is why the Tennessee Titans cannot remotely think about giving him a contract extension. And it's also why Malik Willis is in a great spot in Tennessee. And Malik, don't worry about Ryan Tannehill being a mentor. I mean, how selfish is that from Ryan Tannehill? Let me tell you something, Malik Willis. You do you. Work hard, study, show off that rocket for an arm and the unreal leadership. Ryan Tannehill failed in the playoffs. He failed this offseason. He failed today's press conference. Oh, I don't know. There seems to be a theme here. Incredible Champions League semifinal action today on Paramount Plus. After two first-half goals from Villarreal, it looked like Liverpool was in trouble. But the Reds hit their stride and absolutely dominated the second half. 3 goals over the course of 12 minutes in the second half sealed the deal for Liverpool as they're going to advance to face either Man City or Real Madrid in the Champions League final in Paris. You gotta love soccer and you gotta love sports. The Suns were shining bright in their Game 1 win over the Mavericks. Devin Booker looked like Devin Booker, and to me, this was everything. You gotta love sports. When the Suns are cooking, Booker is healthy. You saw him come back in Game 6 against New Orleans in the prior series, and frankly, he was hesitant. Booker being healthy is huge. Also, DeAndre Ayton, just amazing. When he plays like that and you factor in Chris Paul, that's a real legit big three. Watching Booker and Ayton, you gotta love sports. I love this from the National Football League, where the NFL was apparently reportedly upset with the Detroit Lions for turning in their draft card too soon when picking Aiden Hutchinson. You know what? I talked about this on Friday, how much I loved it for the optics. You gotta love sports. And guess what? Great job by Dan Campbell, as he told our friend Albert Breer, wanted to get this one in because they wanted Hutchinson to know that he was the number 1 player in their draft. And he was the best player in the draft, and the Jaguars made a huge mistake. And they let the league know about it, the rest of the teams, the fan base. Oh, by the way, the Jameson Williams trade-up was unbelievable. He says he can't wait to win in Detroit, make the playoffs. New attitude, phenomenal draft, true draft winners, Lions football. You gotta love sports. How about my New York Yankees? 10 in a row. You gotta love sports. Gleyber Torres, look at this. Opposite field. That's the game-winning single. He had a 2-run home run early in the game. He went oppo for that one as well. The New York Yankees defense has been incredible. Their pitching has been incredible. You know, you're not supposed to pick your favorites in terms of wins. That was the best of the bunch. The numbers during this winning streak, I mean, they're doing it, the Yankees, in every single phase. Listen, they beat bad teams before last night. Honestly, that's how you make the playoffs. I consider that a good thing. Beating the Blue Jays, who I believe are better than the Yankees, that's even better. Yankees baseball. You gotta love sports. Boy, am I fired up for the rivalry with the Dodgers and the Giants starting tonight. You gotta love sports. I mean, listen, if you want to talk about real hates and you want to talk about two excellent teams, you know, obviously this rivalry goes back to when both teams were in New York, and then you take a look at what they've done in California. Half game separating the 3 California teams with the Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants. Listen, I still think the Dodgers are absolutely the best team in the National League West, bar none. But every time the Giants and Dodgers get together, you throw everything out the window. Giants, Dodgers, you gotta love sports. I tried to tell you last night, Baggett's Lightning, my guy Austin Matthews, 2 goals as the Maple Leafs destroyed Tampa 5-0. To take a 1-0 series lead. Austin Matthews, Maple Leafs hockey, the NHL postseason. You gotta love sports. I'm telling you, Leafs are winning the cup. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.